The ultimate question is, why did the jury acquit? Is it because they're racist?
America is inherently biased.
So the jury is racist.
Have you seen the...
I'm asking you a question. No, don't change the subject. Is it because the jury is racist?
Yes.
Okay.
The jurors...
Even the black person on the jury.
Would you like to hear something from me?
Yeah.
I believe that even black people can be anti-black.
All right, so Dan Abrams is about to confront the co-founder of BLM in New York about the Daniel Penny case, because they were saying that, all the jurors are racist, the system is racist, Jordan Neely was an innocent man who was just looking for food. They're playing that whole sympathy card for Jordan Neely and essentially making it out to that Daniel Penny was a Marine who was intent on killing some black man, and Jordan Neely just happened to be that black man of the day. Now, obviously, that's not what happened, but I think at this point in time, you got to call a spade a spade. She is the racist. The BLM activist you're going to see is the racist in this situation, because she doesn't care about the black people who were on that train, who were begging for help, who were scared, who were being threatened, whose lives were being threatened, the children of those black people who were also whose lives were being threatened. She doesn't care about those people. She just cares that a white guy killed a black guy and they can make some money off of it by saying things like this, right? America's still racist. Remember, George Floyd got them $90 million. And that is, I think, why they're trying to make Daniel Penny case into the George Floyd case, because BLM, they spent all that money and now they need some more money. And this is the way they fundraise. They fundraise on taking cases that could possibly have some ambiguity to it and making it into a total racist situation. So let's see their back and forth.
So do you not blame Jordan Neely at all? I mean, for what he did? He deserves no blame from your perspective, right?
Did you hear the witness testimony?
I'm asking you a question.
Or are you cherry picking the ones?
I'm asking you a question. Do you blame Jordan Neely at all for his conduct?
If Jordan Neely was a white man, we'd be saying it was an opioid crisis. He was hungry. He was mentally ill. He had a muffin in his pocket.
I wouldn't be if there were other. What about the witnesses? Let's play again, just so we're clear on the race.
Play Eddie Gibson, who begged Daniel Neely to stop.
Oh, again, but he stayed there throughout the incident.
Play the ones that fit the narrative.
But what's the narrative? There's black women who were on the subway. It was mostly people of color on the subway.
At this point in time, I think it's easy to just let the facts speak for themselves. Here's the body cam footage of the witnesses and what they said at the scene. And you tell me, what do you think about the situation?
The whole train was freaked out. He was either going to pull a gun, a knife, or
He said, I'm willing to die. I'm willing to die.
On cross-examination of the prosecution's witnesses, the defense played police-worn body camera video of their statements to responding officers about what happened when 30-year-old Jordan Neely entered an F train on May 1st, 2023.
He's scared the living daylights out here.
That witness told the jury she's been riding the subway for over 50 years and has been threatened before, but this was the first time she said she was actually scared. She described Neely as resisting when Marine veteran Daniel Penny put Neely in a chokehold to restrain him.
Not a hard chokehold, just enough to secure him, and the guy fought.
She testified she left to go to the conductor and then also pressed an intercom button in the station to see when police might arrive because it had been a while. She also said she went over to thank Penny after. Another woman on the train with her 5-year-old son told the jury, I've taken the subway for over 30 years and I've seen a lot of unstable people and this felt different to me. She demonstrated for the jury how she saw Neely lunging at people. When Penny took Neely to the ground, she said, I felt very relieved because I was scared for my son. She was shocked to read in the paper that Neely had died because it didn't seem like his breathing was under distress.
So you heard the witnesses for yourself. You've seen the body camera. And the interesting part about it is that this black woman said she went and thanked Jordan Neely. The other one, right? I was scared for my child because he was lunging and all that stuff. But you know why their accounts don't matter? Because Jordan Neely was black. If he was white, the BLM would be talking about, hey, what about these black people who this white guy's scared and we know the history of the country. But since Jordan Neely happened to be black and Daniel Penny was white, they see an opportunity. It's a fundraising opportunity. Damn racial divisions. We can make money off this. I can make money off of Jordan Neely's death. And that's why they discount these other black women. This woman is going to work. The other woman is taking her child to school. Discounted. we're going to focus in on protecting Jordan Neely, the person who was trying to kidnap a 7-year-old on the train, the guy who's assaulted he's going around assaulting elderly women on the train. That's the person who they would rather believe and give the benefit of the doubt to than this black woman who's telling you straight up, this guy was threatening to kill us. Somebody needed to do something. And thank God Daniel Penny did something. But again, I'm a radical right-wing lunatic. Let's get back to the interview.
You're asking a lot of questions that are sort of rhetorical questions, right? But the ultimate question is, why did the jury acquit? Is it because they're racist?
America is inherently biased.
So the jury is racist.
Have you seen?
I'm asking you a question. No, don't change the subject. Is it because the jury is racist?
Yes.
Okay.
The jurors.
Even the black person on the jury.
Would you like to hear something from
Yeah.
me? I believe that even black people can be anti-black. People are predeceived to see black people as a threat and as a victim because people called in. You heard the voice recordings when they called 911. Jordan Neely was in a chokehold for over 4 minutes, turning purple, which black people do in fact do that, and people still saw him as a harm. Even when his body went limp, he was still viewed as a criminal. So I'm sorry if I'm going to defend the needy, if I'm going to defend the poor. Why does no one talk about when Jordan Neely came on asking for water and being thirsty? Why does no one talk about...
Because that's not what happened right here. What happened right here, the reason he was held was not because he was asking for water. It's because he was scaring the heck out of everyone on the subway, which apparently he's done before.
You see, this is the narrative that they're trying to put. You know, he was there asking for food and water and was choked to death. And obviously that's not what happened. He came on demanding food, demanding water. That's fine, right? It's some crazy guy demanding food and water. But when that escalates to threats of violence, I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm ready to do a big life sentence. I'll go back to jail. I'm not taking no for an answer. You're going to do what I'm going to say. I'm going to kill people on this train. Those things are different than, can I please have some food? And again, I understand that she's trying to minimize Jordan Neely's craziness. But as you heard from the body camera, the black people, the white people, the Hispanic people, everybody in that train said this guy was threatening our lives in a manner that made everyone, people who had been on the train for 50 years, 30 years, extremely scared in a way that they had never been scared before. Those are just the facts of reality. But remember, those black people don't count because they're not saying what this woman from BLM wants to say, because she knows we got to make money. And we want to make money off the guilty white people who feel like this guy was killed. We got to make money off of the black people who we can control and say everything is racist. She needs this to be that way because her livelihood, her paycheck depends on it. Remember, $90 million after George Floyd. Now, George Floyd, I believe Chauvin should have been convicted. No doubt about it. But this is not that by any means. By any means. This is like Kyle Rittenhouse. This was like Kyle Rittenhouse.
Dan, anyone who has rode the New York City subway has encountered mentally ill people. Why are we not having this conversation?
Scary.
And we don't kill them.
But you know what?
We offer help or we get out of the way.
But more people wish
kills
people
them.
would step up more and help and stop people from doing it.
So are you giving a license to vigilantism? Are you saying that we should kill
vigilantism.
people? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying is it's very unfortunate. I think Daniel Penny would say it is really unfortunate that he died.
Why didn't he care when he was at the precinct? He showed no remorse.
Because he was defending what he did.
He lied in that defense, too. Do you know he told people, he told the police, who people love, that people respect the police's opinion, right? People respect what they do. People respect that honor. He lied in the 5th precinct. How can anything he do, can we just stop calling him a hero?
Now, you know what? I'll even give her that fact that Daniel Penny lied. Because, to be honest with you, I don't even know what she's referring to. But I'll give her that fact. Daniel Penny lied. But in the trial, he didn't testify, right? It was all the witnesses who were inside that train car when everything happened. Those are the people who came forward and said, these are my experiences. So even if you say Daniel Penny lied to the police after the incident, you had the video, you had the police body cam, you had all these other incidents, and all the black people on the train, saying, no, this guy's a hero because this other guy was threatening to kill us. But again, don't let the facts get in the way of a good race grift, because she needs this. They need this. This woman needs this. She needs this to happen. And that's the thing. When your paycheck is built on people's deaths, then any death you're going to need to put it into the box to say, yes, this is an example of racism. And I also think the problem is that by trying to say everything is racist, you've essentially made the word meaningless. If everything's racist, then racism means nothing. That's why it's not an effective tool anymore for the Democrats. Not against Trump, not against the right. It's just people laugh at it now. Oh yes, BLM calling someone else racist. Matter of fact, I think it's gotten to the point where if she called the KKK racist, people would start questioning that. Like, oh my God, she's calling everybody racist. The KKK, the black people on the train who said they were afraid, the jurors, everybody's racist. That is what I think is destroying the BLM movement, is because they can't see past race. The facts matter. The fact Kyle Rittenhouse didn't shoot any black people, didn't kill any black people. But you know what? The racists are saying he killed about 3 black people. That's just not true. And in this case, the thing that they have to confront is that the black people, majority of black people on that train, heavily supported what Daniel Penny did. Not only, but also went and testified and said he did the right thing. So tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section. I honestly feel that this was a pretty easy case. Somebody gets on the train, starts threatening people's lives, and someone steps up to do something. And it wasn't only Daniel Penny, because I think that's one of the things that most people are missing. It was 3 people. It was two other men and Daniel Penny all jumped up to stop Jordan Neely from continuing to not only threaten, harass, or maybe even do something to other passengers. And all the passengers on the train agreed that he needed to be stopped. Now, there is something to say about too much force being used, right? And I think that's where the argument that I can be sympathetic to, right? The amount of force used may have been too much for the situation. That I'm sympathetic to, because I do agree. If I'm putting somebody in a sleeper hold or a choke hold, I got to be more careful. But in the heat of the moment, it could be excused based on the situation, right? Because, like, for instance, police aren't allowed to use choke holds. But if the situation calls for it, where that's the only method you have to protect your life, then you use a choke hold, and then, so be it. So there are certain situations where even things that are not allowed can essentially be excused based on the circumstances of the situation. And I think in this case, the best argument for the prosecution was that, hey, he was justified in holding Jordan Neely, but he just wasn't justified in holding it for so long. But I think that is counteracted by the fact that the medical examiner first said that it was inconclusive how Jordan Neely died. When she examined the body, she didn't see any signs that he had been choked to death. And then she watched the video and said, oh, okay, the video shows that he was choked to death. But at the point, it was like, but then that's when the defense team said, well, hold on. If you examine the body, you saw no visible signs of being choked to death, and there was no video, then you wouldn't have come to that conclusion. She watched the video and came to the conclusion. And that's the issue with me, is that if the medical examiner is supposed to just look at the body and determine a cause of death just from the body alone, right? You're supposed to look at the body and say, well, this is what it is. Do you see any signs of strangulation? What's about the toxicology report? Could they have died from an overdose on drugs? The medical examiner couldn't figure out if the person was choked to death. Now, 99% of the time, you can tell, right? If someone is being strangled, there are obvious signs, eyes turning red, there's a whole bunch of signs, like he's turning purple. That didn't happen here. The medical examiner. So even that aspect of it is questionable. But you're going to see everybody on the left continue to say he was choked to death, even though that was inconclusive. The medical examiner changed her mind because obviously she got a job to protect, right? She's got a job to protect. But like I always say, let me know how you feel in the comment section. If you think I'm wrong, I definitely want to hear it, because I think at the end of this day, what this case shows is that racism, the underlying racism that I believe this woman is trying to put forward in the public sphere, is racism on her behalf. I believe she is truly the racist. She only sees skin color. And I'll even go this far. If the races were reversed in this particular case, if the races were reversed in this particular case, she'd have had no problem with what happened. It's the fact that Daniel Penny happened to be white, Jordan Neely happened to be black. That's the reason why she cares. And that's the reason why they all care. Tell me where I'm wrong in the comments section. My name is Nate the Lawyer. I'll see you next one. Peace.